Hey guys, how's it going? This is HelpfulLockPicker here, and in today's video we're going to pick open this really cool American Lock 1100 series that has a really cool long shackle. So when you're first getting started in lock sport, when you start to pick open American locks, this is where it can get really fun. And I really enjoy American locks. In order to open up this lock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do top of the keyway tension in 50 thousandths, and then I'm going to use this Peterson hook 1 in 25 thousandths. So what I'm going to do is put some tension on this lock, and let's start all the way in the back. So starting on pin 5, got a couple clicks, now back to 4, got a click, 3 got a click, 2 nothing, 1 nothing. When I do American locks, I like to try to go 1 click at a time just so that I don't overset. Okay, got a few clicks on 5 and a little bit of movement on the core, so that shows we're going hopefully in the right direction. Click on 3, 1, 2's binding up, got a little bit more movement on the core, and look at that, we just got a really big false set. So let's go back, let's see. 5 feels set, 4 feels good, 3 feels good, 2 feels good. Now, we haven't actually touched 1 yet, so we're going to try that. Let's see. So 1's giving me some counter rotation, which you can see when I'm touching it. If you can see the tension wrench moving back. So hopefully this is the only pin we have left. So let's just maintain some tension, counter rotate on 1 here. Just really don't want to drop everything, so I'm just going to try to be careful here. Let's see. And I think I may have messed up here. Let's try. Let's see. So I may have overset something inadvertently. So let's see. I just got to click on 3. So I think something may have dropped down. 4. Is that 3 or 2? Let's see. Is that 2 binding? There we go. So we got 2 set again. Now let's try one more time. And then we got the lock opened up. So that was a good example of how you can often know where you are in the lock. And when I went to set 1, I dropped down a couple pins, which is why spools can be a little pesky at times. But we were able to get this lock opened up. So now let's take it apart and see what's on the inside. So I'm going to get my pinning tray right over here. I'm going to open this up right here. We can move the ice right out of the way. And let's get a really good look at this lock. Alright, so taking a look at the key. That is the bitting we were working with. And let's get my Phillips head. Get the screw out. I can put the stuff down here so we do not lose it. And we got our cylinder right here. But what I'm going to do, just for me, it's easier, I'm going to lock this back up. Then I'm going to get my circlip remover, and I'll show you why it's sometimes easier to lock it back up. So we got our key, then we have a follower. So when you go to take the cylinder apart, you're going to want to have this piece where it interacts with the actuator over where the Bible is, because you do not want to have that gap. But when you have the key, when you have the lock opened up clockwise in the direction where it opens, you're going to see that gap there, and then you're going to need to use a shim or do it another way. But if I turn counterclockwise, we are going to get a follower in here, no problem, and we'll be able to take our lock right apart without dealing with a shim. And one thing to notice too when you're working on American locks. Just as a reminder, the little front lip here, which you can kind of see right there, is the reminder if that's the front where pin 1 will go. So taking this lock apart quickly, we're going to have a serrated key pin in 1, serrated key pin in 2, serrated in 3, serrated in 4, and a non-serrated in 5, because that is a really short one and that looks like probably a 1 cut. And now, taking out the driver pins, I'm going to get my trusty tweezers, and let's see. Serrated spool. A regular spring. A serrated driver. I don't think the spring feels like coming out. No big deal. Let's see. Number 3. Serrated spool. I will deal with the springs at the end, because this is a all-stock American lock. Serrated spool in 4 and a serrated in 5. All the springs are in there, just being a little temperamental to come out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, looking at the matchup on the pins here, which we can take a look at right here. So, we're going to have a short key pin in 1 over a spool, which is an excellent combination. A longer key pin over a serrated pin in 2, which is a pretty good combination. A moderate sized key pin in 3 over a spool, that's not too bad. A not too long key pin over a spool in 4, and then a serrated pin over a really short key pin in 5. I typically like to have the spools over the shorter pins. So let me just put this in 5 and I can just show you, because when you have it over a shorter pin with a spool, you can really get that spool to come into play pretty good. Here you can see how it's going to start off as a serrated regular, and then it will become a spool, so that can be pretty cool. But the problem is, if you have a key pin that is too long, which we may not have in this scenario, but let's see what 2 does. If you have a key pin that's too long, sometimes the spool will just never come into play. So as you can tell, if we had a spool over the pin in 2, we'll see right here how that spool will actually never come into play, and it will just be like a serrated pen. But either way, guys, this has just been a pretty cool pick and gut of an American lock. These are some of my favorite locks. They're really fun to work on. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that was able to check it out. As always, if you guys have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to drop those right in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. As always, thank you so much for checking this out, and I hope you all have a great day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.